Hey guys, Ryan here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what I think are the best sensitivity settings for Warzone, and we're pretty much just going to jump right into it. We're going to begin by talking about what's the best sensitivity overall. Now, I tend to keep my vertical and horizontal sensitivity the same, and I would recommend anything between 4.4 and 8.8. The most important thing when it comes to picking the sensitivity you want to use is just finding that balance between a sensitivity that doesn't feel too slow and a sensitivity that doesn't feel too fast. And that's why I'd heavily recommend to stick within that 4.4 to 8.8 range. However, the next setting I'm about to talk about I think is actually the most important setting I'm going to talk about in this video. And what that setting is what aim response curve are you currently using. First things first, you need to go to the advanced section in your controller settings, and then you need to go all the way down to aim response curve type. When you change this setting, you change the way the game reads your right stick inputs. So when you have it on standard, it reads it exponentially. The more power you apply, the faster it moves. It makes it harder to have precision aim because you don't have that much control over it when you don't apply too much power. When you do apply a lot of power, it makes it difficult to aim. So when you have it on linear, it's now a 1-to-1 ratio. If you put 30% power on the joystick, it's going to move 30% of the way. If you put 40% power, it's going to move 40% of the way. This gives you a lot more options with precision aim, although it can be kind of difficult to control at long ranges. The last setting, and the one that I'd probably recommend the most for most people, is going to be dynamic. This means you have more fine aim control, and then as you ramp up and apply pressure, you have the classic effect where it gets faster and faster with the more pressure you apply. So this gives you best of both worlds and gives you fine aiming control, and allows you to also move around and aim quick just like standard. I'd really recommend linear or dynamic. I use linear myself, however that's a personal preference and you have to find which one's best for you, and that's one thing I'm always going to stress in this video. It's very similar to the 4.4 to 8.8 thing, and it's very similar to the aim response curve. Just make sure you pick one that best suits your playstyle and one that you enjoy using. As I said before, I personally would recommend dynamic or linear. Give them both a try, and then maybe that is what I'd use as your base point to change your settings. So one other key setting a lot of people don't know about and you really need to change is your Deadzone settings. If you have this on their default settings and you haven't changed this setting, you're in trouble. Just like the aim response curve, you're going to find this setting in the advanced section, and it's going to be right about in the middle of the settings menu. And then once you find it, you need to hit the show more option. So for your right stick, it's going to default to 0.10, but I recommend to set it to 0.05. What this means is this is the minimum amount of input threshold you have to hit for it to activate. So if you put what would register as 0.05 pressure, then it will activate. Before with the default setting, it sets at 0.1, and this actually causes you to lose a good bit of your fine aiming capabilities, and that's why I'd recommend to change it to 0.05. I am currently playing on 0.1, though I have to admit, because my controller is experiencing really bad stick drift and I'm waiting for my new controller to get here. So do be wary, if you're experiencing stick drift, you do have to adjust this setting to fix that. The other thing you have to know about your input and this Deadzone thing is you probably want to put your left stick minimum input to 0. I know it sounds weird, but this is going to give you more aim assist, this is going to give you more rotational aim assist, and the reason this is because when you move in Warzone and Call of Duty in general, this is what activates rotational aim assist. Movements with your left stick give you more aim assist in gunfights and give you a very specific type of aim assist. So if you have your Deadzone set to 0, this means you get aim assist at a much easier rate. And when you combine that with changing your right stick Deadzone to get more fine aiming control, this means you're just going to win so many more gunfights due to this setting change. Now, of course, there's a couple last few settings I really want to cover that are going to, at the end of the day, change your game, but they aren't as important. So one is going to be your ADS Sensitivity Multiplier. This setting can actually change a lot of people's gameplay. So if you want to use a higher sensitivity like 7.7 or 8.8, I would consider lowering your ADS sensitivity multiplier to something like 0.85, 0.9, or something around there. If it feels too fast still, you can even go lower. I will say though, if you are on a lower sensitivity, I'd probably keep it just at 1 or 0.95 just to be safe and still allow you to track people up close. Anyways guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up. If you want to see more videos like this, if you want to know the best settings, the best meta weapons, and overall some good coaching tips, maybe consider subscribing. Hope you guys enjoy this video. It's been Ryan. I hope you have a good day. Peace.